Hello, I'm Jenny as a first speaker from AI Preceder that can help you in this presentation. Who will explain the material is the second speaker, Husniatul Amalia.
Poem is a type of writing that uses beautiful and creative language to share ideas, feelings, or experiences. It often has a special rhythm or sound and may use words in unique ways to make the reader think or feel deeply. To understand the poem more deeply, let's move on to the next slide. Analyze and explore the meaning of the poem together. Now that we've looked at the poem Invictus by William Ernest Henley, let's move on to the first question. What is the meaning of the poem Invictus? Can you explain? This question will help us understand the main idea of the poem better. So the answer is the meaning of the poem Invictus is it tells of a very strong person who doesn't care how serious the problem that come, he, writer, will remain strong. He doesn't hold back, he doesn't cry, even though he is in a very difficult situation like being trapped in darkness. But he doesn't want to give up. He still has a strong spirit. In short, this poem gives us motivation. Life is indeed hard. But we can be more harder because we have control over ourselves. No matter how hard the challenge is, we can definitely get through it. The second question is, does the sentence structure of the poem influence the reader's emotions? Why? The answer is, yes, it does, because the poem uses sentences that motivate the reader like, I am the master of my feet. I am the captain of my soul. That sentence shows that we as humans have full control of ourselves. Apart from that, the content of the poem explains the challenges a person feels in living his life. But he remains enthusiastic and strong to get through it. This is very relatable in everyday life. So we as readers feel inspired. The third question is, what point of view does this poem use? Before we know the answer, we have to know what is point of view exactly. So point of view is the storyteller from whose point of view the story is being told, the narrator. But in the poem Invictus the answer is use a first-person point of view. The fourth question is what is the rhyme of this poem? We have to know what is rhyme first. So rhyme is when two or more words have the same ending sound. It is often used in poems or songs to create rhythm, make the meaning stronger, or make it easier to remember. Words that rhyme usually share the same vowel sound at the end. And the answer in the poem Invictus use the cross rhyme consist of AB, AB. The fifth question is, give two sentences that contain the personification figure of speech found in the poem. Personification is when we give human qualities to things that are not human, like animals, objects, or ideas. And the answer in the poem Invictus, which includes the personification figure, is under the bludgeonings of chance. And out of the night that covers me. The sixth question is, give two sentences that contain the metaphor figure of speech found in the poem. Metaphor is when we say something is something else to compare them, even though they are not literally the same. And the answer in the poem Invictus, which includes the metaphor figure, is black as the pit from pole to pole. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
The seventh question is, give one sentence that contains the hyperbole figure of speech found in the poem. Hyperbole is when we use extreme exaggeration to make something sound more important or dramatic than it really is. And the answer in the poem Invictus, which includes the hyperbole figure, is, my head is bloody, but unbowed. The eighth question is, what tone or mood is created in the poem? And the answer is there are various kinds of tone or mood created in Invictus poem, such as difficulty, courage, and inspiring enthusiasm. In the first stanza, out of the night that covers me, which describes the suffering and great challenges a person faces, which creates a stressful and difficult tone or mood. In the second stanza, my head is bloody, but unbowed. The tone or mood changed to become stronger and more enthusiastic. This sentence shows that even though you are full of wounds, you are still strong. This creates a mood of enthusiasm and courage. In the last stanza, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul, shows a sense of optimism and confidence. Even though he faced obstacles, he remained confident that he had control over himself and was able to overcome them.
The 9th question is, what is the symbol behind the night that covers me, and what is the meaning? And the answer is the sentence behind, the night that covers me described darkness which symbolizes difficulties or fear in life. The nights here are not just ordinary nights, but the big difficult times full of challenges. The meaning is found in the world covers me, even though the mind was filled with challenge, he still went through it, showing that he did not give up. The 10th question is, what is the relationship between the title of the poem and the content of the poem itself? That's the title directly reflect the content of the poem. And the answer is the title of the poem Invictus, which means invisible, directly reflects the content of the poem. The poem tells the story of how the author faced life's difficulties, challenges and suffering with courage. Even though he was in the dark, he did not give up. And in the last stanza, I am the captain of my soul, emphasizing that even though he has gone through various obstacles, he remains strong and brave to face them. So the poem Invictus reflects the content of the poem directly because it emphasizes invincible strength and courage in the face of obstacles.
And the conclusion of this presentation is, a poem is a type of writing that uses beautiful and creative language to share ideas, feelings, or experiences. It often has a special rhythm or sound and may use words in unique ways to make the reader think or feel deeply. Key features of a poem. First, form, written in lines and groups of lines, called stanzas. Second, language, uses comparisons, pictures and words, and other creative tools. Third, rhythm, often has a flow or beat that makes it sound musical. Fourth, meaning, shares deep thoughts or emotions in a short and powerful way. And the last is, concise, poems say a lot with only a few words.